This video is sponsored by love. Have you ever had affection for another, that deep burning desire to just love each other? Well, I do. And that person is my awesome, amazing, beautiful girlfriend. FNAF 2 is actually one of her favorite locations. So, with that being said, I did just release FNAF 1, so it does kind of make sense. But with that being said, I love you. And let's get right into the intro. What's up, boys, girls, and everybody in between? I'm your host, Ben/BenTherestudios. How are you all doing today? I know that at least at the time of recording this intro, I just uploaded the FNAF 1 video yesterday, for matter of fact. Yeah. There is no the pizzeria behind me this time, because I'm hoping that this would be a one intro thing. But yeah, that being said, let's just hop in. So of course we have what I decided to use for the wall and stuff, which is just I use the FNAF 2 clean. Yeah, shoes, and then I use like a variety between these little ones. Not much there. Of course, as I said, we have our wrench, which is actually really helpful. Then we have our flooring. So I know for a fact I use these four in my other build. So of course now we have your classic checkerboard, black and white. Just makes sense. We have our arcade. This is gonna be for like the back room. I know in my last build this was the flooring in the safe room, and now it's gonna be in the parts and service. At least I'm going to try it. Then we have the manager's office, and we also have another area which we will get onto whenever we use the map, which is Then we have this is gonna be the kitchen floor, because I have a new design I want to try with that. And this is going to be that freezer floor. There will be no docking bay. I just think, hey, Fastbros is going to be closed on a day. Doesn't really matter. Let's just say on a Tuesday, and that's when they get everything in, like every 2 weeks or something like that. But then we have this one, which is going to be our transportation, not transportation, like our hallways, like our pathway block. Yeah, that's all the floors. A bit more than last time. I know last time I only used like probably 5 floors, if that. Yeah, so we're getting better. Now let's get into the animatronics. Oh, I was gonna do a big reveal. It was like, wow, but it's already on. All right. So as you can see, there are a lot more than last time. Let's just hop in. So of course, you have your classic FNAF 2 ones, which is Toy Freddy, Toy Bonnie, Toy Chica, Mangle. Here is Captain Foxy. Yeah, so this is the FNAF 2 Captain Foxy, and as the intro says, it is like Foxy is actually one of my girlfriend's. It is my girlfriend's just all-time favorite animatronic. So I decided to include him. I was gonna include him anyway, because I had a really cool idea for him that I thought would be nice. But yeah, now we have the puppet or marionette, whatever you want to call it. We have Balloon Boy as well as JJ. So now we're gonna have both of them here. Then you have your more torn up animatronics, your withered animatronics. So we have Withered Freddy, Withered Bonnie, Withered Chica, and then we have Sparky, which I know in the other video, Sparky looks a lot like the FNAF one, and here I just think he looks a bit more broken, and I think it just makes sense, because now we're not going to be having a Withered Foxy, because we have Captain Foxy, and then we already have Mango too, so it's not really a need for 3 Foxies, or just for 3 Foxes. But yeah, then we have again, I know I haven't been using the classic endos. I know in the other one I didn't use Endo O1, I used the FNAF AR. Here I'm using the dismantled endo. Yeah, for this one, I don't know, I just have ideas. I just think it looks fits the vibe. Are his eyes following me? Oh, that's kind of creepy. Then we have Shadow Freddy and Shadow Bonnie, and we also have Golden Freddy. But yeah, uh, again, I know that this is a lot, even like FNAF 2. I think like FNAF, I think the OG FNAF 2 would be Freddy, Bonnie, Chica, Mangle, Puppet, Balloon Boy, you Wizards, plus Foxy, and then these three. So I have like three extra people, but there is actually a system that will be helping us out with that. But with that being said, let's get into the map making. Alright, so let's get into this layout. So I know that in the last video I didn't really label everything, and that was kind of on purpose. I was just kind of trying to get out the video, but here's where we're actually gonna sit down, break down what the actual map is. So if you look, we have, this is going to be very, very similar to the actual FNAF 2 map, where you have your main dining room, which leads into like this L-shaped hallway, and in that hallway you have the bathrooms, you have parts and service, you have those 4 party rooms, and then you have the office. If you can see next to the office, there's 2 rooms. The room that is going to be on the left hand side is going to be just small extra closet, and if you can see, if you can see from party room A, there's going to be a vent that would go into that small closet. And yeah, and if you can see to its right of it, there's going to be a generator room, which is actually going to be used to power, the building. And as I stated before, you have the bathrooms up top, and next to it is going to be the kitchen, because I know that in the actual location there is no kitchen like available. But yeah, then we have our main dining room, where you're just gonna get the main stage, the party rooms, the booths, all that. Then if you see up above, we have the backstage, which again, I think that the backstage makes a lot more sense to be behind the actual stage. But next to that, and in between that and the kitchen, there's a tech office, or a technician's office. And that's where I said that this whole system is going to come into play, or that there's going to be an extra system. And yeah, there's going to be 2 night guards instead of 1. It's because there are just a lot more animatronics. I think that having a technician on standby is going to be pretty nice. Like, especially after the whole mangled, being torn apart attraction thing. But yeah, and if you can tell, next on the opposite side, next to the backstage, there's a square. There's just that square. That's gonna be the manager's office. That's just gonna be a basic office. That's gonna, you have to go into the backstage, to get to there. There's probably gonna be another entrance, but yeah. Speaking of entrance, if you keep going, on that side, you see those 2 boxes that are in between the entrance. The entrance is going to be very long, very stretched out, but if you look above and below, at least on the map, those are going to be display cases, on the outside of the map. That's going to display, I don't know, 2 animatronics of some kind. Probably, I haven't really decided yet, but I want them to just display. I don't know. I just had that idea. I thought it'd be cool. Might get rid of it, might not. But yeah. Then if you look south or downwards from the main room, and then you get the arcade. Oh no, sorry. Yeah, you get the arcade, and then you get Kids Cove. Which Kids Cove in this version is, again, it's gonna be Captain Foxy. I wanted to give him his own party room, pretty much, and then arcade is actually where the Mangle is gonna hang out with all the other kids. You're gonna have that. But yeah, then if you look, there's one last unlabeled box, which is next to Kids Cove, between the hallway and the main room. That's actually gonna be the prize corner. I want it to be pretty big. I actually really like doing the prizes and stuff. I don't know. I like it. I don't know. But yeah, here's gonna be the layout. With that being said, I hope y'all enjoy the build, and I will talk to you guys whenever we start the tour. Hi. So real quick, this is like end of video, Ben. I realized as I was editing, I I realized this, but I also forgot to actually mention it. I did accidentally hit the stop recording button for probably a good 20 minutes. So there is just kind of a small jump within the video. I apologize for that. I try to see if I was like accidentally. I'll try to like figure out when I hit it. I'm pretty sure it jumps from me doing the price counter to the manager's office, which I don't know what I really did in between. But yeah, again, I'm so sorry. Just wanted to let you guys know, and yeah, I hope you guys enjoy the rest of the video. What's up, guys? Welcome back. Well, I will say that before we hop into the tour, I did forget to include two animatronics, as far as I'm aware. That was Candy and Cindy. The reason why I chose to include them is I think that they just line up with the toys so much better. As you can kind of tell, I added light exterior. I didn't really go too heavy into it. Here's the sign. I was gonna have this here, but then I realized, hey, that's not like lined up. It's 4 block. It's not like an odd number. This is odd number block. So I'm like, I don't really want to move everything over to the right. But yeah, here's the exterior. Again, not much. I don't really know what I'm like doing with exteriors. This is, I don't know. I like how this turned out. Like this little design. It's the bricks with checkered wall and the red carpet. So yeah, oh, you got some chairs, just like people to wait outside, trash cans. Yeah, the posters. I know I said I was gonna add little display cases. I'm not gonna lie, I kind of just realized that, but it's fine. We can just scrap the small display cases. But with that being said, let's get into the tour. Alright, so here we have the entrance, of course. Again, not much. You you have two little receptionist desks, you have your lights, you have all these chairs for people to sit down and wait, you have the celebrate poster, you have some kids drawings. These are just I'm pretty sure these are just mirrored on both ends. You got a phone, trash, chair, yeah, they're pretty much just mirrored. You got some clouds. Again, not much. Then you enter the main party room, which again, I'm going to do this last as always. Actually, we can probably do this room first. If you come over from the entrance, if you go to your right, here's going to be the manager's office. And again, not that much. You have a few chairs, you have the water cooling, a vending machine, you have some kids' drawings. He has a sofa with, of course, a phone. He has 2 monitors to keep track of all the cameras in this place. And these do actually work. It's just I haven't put cameras in either location. But yeah, these camera systems do actually work. I would think I for sure will for when I do FNAF 3. But yeah. If we head straight across, we have the arcade, aka also Mangle's Hangout, where we have a few arcade machines. We have some skee ball. We have a ticket thing. We have these two. We can shoot some hoops. Mangle's here, kind of vibing out. I wanted to do more like a spacey kind of room, and again, there are also 2 more of these kind of spacey rooms. I just think that it looks cool. Yeah, arcade, not that much. Yeah. And over here is where we have the first actual animatronic pirate party room is Captain Foxy. For him, I just have him up on stage. I added these little decorations of palm trees. I gave him this little chest. He has some speakers with some wiring, going into both of them. He has a trash. Yeah, it's just a basic party room. I'm pretty sure I copied this exact design where it's a table across from a stage that has a smaller table. I'm pretty sure I pretty much just copied that. But yeah, they have this little golden star design that I actually did for every party room. And again, I just think it looks cool. I don't know, it could be me. I think that especially for Foxy, it matches. But yeah, then if you go out here, you see the prize corner. The reason why it is so dark is, I'm gonna be completely honest with you guys, I forgot to do these kind of like upper like lights that you see. Well, I didn't forget it. Is I had them here, and if you can tell, like probably towards the end of the speed build, that I just kind of like forgot to hook them up with the wrench, and I really did not want to go through and do all that again. So I just add a lamp. It's like a little lamp, which I honestly think this looks a bit better. It gives like the puppet a bit more of like an eerie vibe. Like you can just like turn it on and off, you know. So like honestly, it doesn't really do that much. Now that I'm like realizing, it doesn't do that much. But yeah, again, I really like love designing prize counters and stuff. I don't know why, but you have like all the animatronics that are like here present, except for like Foxy, and then like the Wizards and stuff. But yeah, you have everyone's mask from like the OG location. Then you also have Mangle and Balloon Boy. You have all of the T-shirts. You have coins to like I got the kids. You have an arcade in case like you get bored. You have just like a variety of prizes. You have the OG stuff. Then you have a spare like Bonnie's guitar. The marionette is here to watch you, but I imagine like there would be an actual employee here like all throughout the day. It's like the security puppet's also here. Then if you go out here, it's the kitchen, which again I tried this kind of technique where it was these kitchen bricks with that, but then it also has a bit of like a mix with these big kitchen bricks. That's just kind of like not gradient. That's just more mixing it up a bit to give it more like detail. But yeah, like you have again. This is just like a basic kitchen where like you have your stoves, you have all your like your fryers, you have all your condiments. You can wash your hands. You have spare pizza boxes. You have a giant like workspace. Then here you have the freezer, which again it's just a basic freezer. You have some just cold stuff. You have some pizza boxes, some just again just pretty self-explanatory freezer. Yeah. I think now we can hop to the main room. I'm not really sure how I wanted to like do this tour, but I think now works. Of course, you have your three main characters in Freddy, Bonnie, and Chica. I think I might have swapped them, but I honestly really do enjoy this only because I like how like Bonnie's arm is facing out that way, and Chica is like looking more towards it that way a small bit. But yeah, you just have a little forest background. They have their speakers, they have all that, and let's get back here. We're getting to the backstage. The backstage is literally just cluttered with everything. Like you have a spare, so like here's where like you have all your spare cutouts and stuff. You have some broken arcades, some spare monitors for like whether it's the manager's office, the actual office, just like spare prize gifts, spare parts. I know I put a microphone here, a spare mic. You have two of Bonnie's guitars. You have a spare cupcake. It's just a lot of clutter, and I think it has the right amount to where it doesn't feel overcrowded, but it's also like wow, like there's a lot in here. But then if you get past all that, here's where you get to the technician's office, and for him, literally, I just imagine he's like the guy who's here like night and day who builds animatronics. He's just, like sleep deprived. But yeah, he has a desk fan. He also has a monitor. He has his own little phone system. Over here, this is the robotics table. So I just decided to include it. I think it makes sense. I gave him a little like mirror, or it's like a little like hologram TV. I don't know. Apparently, FNAF is really advanced for its time. I don't know. Spare arcade, in case he gets like bored or nothing. He has his own little door system. But yeah. With that being said, I think next, I'm pretty sure I got everything. The manager, yeah. So now we go down the hallway, which this door just leads to another prize corner. But here's where you get, you know, your all your posters and stuff, like all of the toy animatronics. You get all these gifts and stuff. Here's where you get Balloon Boy and JJ, which in my lore canon, these guys won't actually be active in anything. Like these guys just exist as characters. Like at like nighttime they don't move or nothing. They just kind of exist. Then you have the bathrooms, which I'm pretty sure they're the exact same on both sides, except for in the boys it might be a urinal. Yeah, there was like 2 sinks. I don't know why I put in 2 sinks for it's only 1 stall thing, but don't judge me. Again, I just also like now realize that. But yeah, I'm pretty sure. Yeah, there's a urinal over here, which I guess this one is just quick and easy. But yeah, like you have these little soap dispensers, hand dryers, etc. Then out here, it's like you just have gift. Like I wanted to make these hallways organized, but also like clutter-ish. Like a lot less clutter than what was in the backstage. But with that being said, we're gonna just I think go in order. So here's where you would have the parts in and service, which I'm just also now realizing I forgot a lamp. So let me put a lamp in here. Let's put it like right. I just like it being right there. Yeah. So hold on. So that's good. Here's where you have the parts and service, where you have all of your like decommissioned animatronics. I did not know that his eyes actually glowed, and that's like now hit me. But again, I wanted this to feel a lot like clutter, but organized clutter. I don't know. So here is where like you would have. I imagine this being like OG Bonnie's guitar. Here's where you get like Sparky, your Willard Bonnie. You have like extra supplies in here, because it does say parts and service. So like I feel like service would just be like supplies and stuff. In my opinion, you have a spare cupcake, just like a lot of more like decay and like clutter. You have Willard Freddy back here. You have your Willard Chica, Willard Golden Freddy. I'm not gonna lie, I randomly placed both of the shadow animatronics as well as Willard Golden Freddy, only because I wasn't sure where they would go. But yeah, I feel like this is a pretty standard parts and service. I genuinely really do like this room a lot. I don't. Again, it feels exactly like the backstage where it's organized clutter. But yeah. With that being said, in the hallway you just have your posters, you have drawings, you have your chairs for like guests to sit. I know down here you have a water purifier. I put a sofa. You have some more tables, some plants, and that's just like a basic hallway. But here is where we get into our other party rooms. Here's where you would have candy, and I just also saw something else. Is that what it's called? Yeah. Hold on. I may have just like screwed that up. Hold on. I need trapdoor. I just like now realized. But I will say there are vent systems which we will be able to, which I will show you guys in a hot minute. But yeah, this would be Candy's party room, and again, I just like copied, oh no, now I remember what I did. So now you have a big table across from the stage, which these ones don't have your small tables, but again, just cutouts, some speakers that have some wires going into them. Just standard, it's pretty much the exact same over here, except here you have Cindy, and yeah, just this little gold star design. I'm sorry it's a bit laggy. I tried to like turn down my like entity distance and stuff like that, and I'm pretty sure I'm just like still getting lag, but yeah, it's fine. Here's where we just had 2 extra like just little party rooms with like booths and stuff. Where it was big table, some booths, and then you had a small table with like gumball machines, some gifts, some drawings all around. You had trash can. You had like just like I don't know, just like what is this? Glitter? I don't know, like star confetti all over the floor. But yeah, this is just a basic party room. There's no animatronics that's like designated. It's the exact same for over here. And yeah, just big table, booth, small table, drawings, the whole shebang. Here, where you'd have the office. And again, I just realized there's nothing here for it. Will this work? I hope it works. There's not. I don't know. I feel like I just forgot a lot of stuff this time. So let me actually put you. And yeah, I guess it works. Okay, so as you can tell, this office looks a lot different than the actual games. So here's where like you would sit down, right? And this one, right? So in this game, you wouldn't have a mask, or like you wouldn't have like, well, yeah, like you wouldn't have the mask. Instead, like you just have a whole bunch of doors and stuff. But yeah, I added the paper pals. You have now he has a reinforced crash door, to where it's just like if you let any animatronics in at all, you're practically dead, except for Foxy, which is just you shine the light at him. But he has a crash door now, so that's nice. Oh, sorry, buddy. Yep, here. Then here's where I decided to put Shadow Bonnie. Yeah, yeah. This is just like a little storage closet, which has a vent, which does like lead to candy, or yeah, at least candy. I just put Bonnie here. It is a very bright room, I will say, but yeah, just board, a small table. I mentioned this more just like a like guard break type of area. I don't know. But yeah, across the hall, or not across the hall, but on the other side of the room, here's where we have your Shadow Freddy and your Endo. Here would be a generator. So like this like doesn't really do much. You have like all your hanging wires. Here's where like all of your like tech stuff would pretty much be. And you hit the light switch in the middle. All goes dark. Everything is now turned off. Like everything. But yeah, like I don't know. I really do like that feature, except like lights can only be hooked up to a light switch, so that makes it just like look a bit silly. But as you can tell, if we actually decide to take this event, which I'm pretty sure I didn't really cover it up that well, but it's fine. This might be a while. Hey, how are ya? Hi, you guys. I mean, now that I'm here, I have the time. Please make sure to like, comment, and subscribe. Hold on, I cannot see where I'm going. I hit the wrong button. But yeah, this would just be a little vent, and he would uncrawl. He'd get to the office. He would come from that side. Cindy would come from the hallway. Endo would come from over here, and Willards would come down the hallway, pretty much. But yeah, this is FNAF 2. That being said, I hope that you guys enjoyed. I'm really just like deciding to just start pumping out these videos, cause again, I uploaded my video at like, say for me, I think it was like 12 a.m. and from there I immediately started working on it the like next day, and I now have this done like I don't know, 2.5 days later, depending on if I can edit this all tonight. It is currently 11:18 p.m. So hopefully this video gets uploaded within the next 3 hours. But yeah, I hope you guys enjoy. I hope you all have a great morning, evening, or night, whatever it shall be. Make sure you guys stay hydrated, eat some good snacks, and yeah, with that being said, I will catch you guys later. Peace out.